Yeah, it always keeps it coming down.
He does. He makes out with Maurice Cheeks.
Malone.
He's going to have to take the outside shots here to open it up for the Sixers.
Well, that's what Tony tried to do. He missed. Malone had the rebound. Robinson posting up on Jones, draws the first foul of the ball game. We've played almost a minute now, 50 coming up on, well, 40 seconds we've played, and still no score.
Well, playoffs make it like that, because the first shot very rarely goes in. Everybody's a little tight.
And everybody first talks about the word intensity, and the level that it reaches in the playoffs sometimes is absolutely amazing. Malone can't get it to drop. That's Robinson after Mahorn kept it alive. So the first 2 points of the NBA playoffs scored by Cliff Robinson.
And that's a couple of offensive rebounds, and the Sixers have not been letting them get too many offensive rebounds in the previous game.
Sixers, of course, not having played good basketball in the last couple of weeks, having lost 8 ball games, the last 14, as Malone scores inside. And that's what Gene Shue was concerned about, the dominating game inside of Moses Malone.
Well, I was talking to Moses this morning that we were out shooting around this morning, and he said he's ready to play. So this is the best he's felt in a long time, and he's going to try to make things go their way. If it's up to him, it will.
Well, he gives the Sixers a 3-2 lead at the 10:35 mark, first period, and he gets a steal. He's got Julius on the left. Take it home, Doctor. Good pass by Malone.
By that 6'11" guard down.
Well, that's the new thing in the league. That's in vogue, to be a 6'10", 6'11", or 7-foot point guard. 5-2, 76ers.
Now, I noticed that Maurice Cheeks is helping out on that bad play, and Gus is wide open. If they see that and take advantage of it, he can burn them.
Good pass inside. Bobby Jones. There was goaltending. The hand was right in the basket. Mahorn's hand. Now it's scored. Bobby Jones credited with the basket. Let's watch the first play. Let's see how much Robinson had his hand in the basket, so it should have been goaltending the first time, but they still got the basket. 7-2 Sixers. Inside now the 10-minute mark, first quarter from the Spectrum. That's Darren Day off a good screen from Mahorn.
He squared up nice on that shot, didn't he?
He sure did. And of course, the Bullets do like to run a lot of plays. They need to do that. Gene Shue feels that he really doesn't have a lot of good one-on-one players. He likes Ruland down low, but he feels other than Gus in an open court, they have some trouble. That was Tony.
Now,
that's Malone with the rebound.
Team that the Sixers have out there, and the Bullets will have to execute well all their plays if they're going to make it work, because this particular group is a good defensive team for the Sixers.
Watch that matchup of Cheeks on Gus Williams. There they go. As the shot clock ticks down to 5. And that was a tough shot by Gus, but Mahorn is there. And he's being called for traveling. He's upset about it. But the defensive Cheeks forced Gus to take a very difficult fadeaway jump shot, and you can see the value of Maurice Cheeks.
That'll take the percentage down a couple of notches.
Day screened off by Tony. No switch by Malone, and the Doctor rams it in. The Doctor with 4 points. Or his first 2 points, sorry. No, he has 4. Cram one in before on the break from Malone.
Now the Sixers are picking the Bullets up real high to spread them out and to make them have to. When you spread them out, you can make plays through picks and get back and catch up if you spread them out. But if it's real tight, like with Julius down there, when the guy gets free, he's free.
Andrew Tony with his first foul. Jeff Malone will go to the free throw line. The shot clock was down to 3 seconds when Tony committed that foul. Malone would have had to take a difficult shot. We have 8:29 to go here in the first quarter. The Sixers lead 9-4.
Now that first play that Moses took on the other end, when he took Mahorn to the hoop, that was a very important play for the Sixers, because they know now that Moses is ready to play. And when the big guy's ready, that really makes everybody else feel a little better.
So it should be a good psychological uplift for the remainder of the 76ers. They now lead 9-6. 8:20 to go in the first quarter. Day with good defense on the Doctor. But you can't do it forever. Julius with 6. Sixers by 5. And our first time out of the ball game, Gene Shue wanting to talk things over with the Washington Bullets with 8:03 to go in the first quarter. The Sixers 11, the Bullets 6. Rick Barry back with Bill Russell, the first game of the NBA playoffs, 1985 version, and the 76ers have got off to a torrid start, 5 for 9 for 56% from the floor, 2 for 6 only for the Washington Bullets.
Well, the Sixers started off playing very strong defense, and as they're continuing now, there's a weak side help.
That was good ball movement. Mahorn could not lay it in, and they will get it back. Mahorn waited a little bit too long, didn't quite have control on that good quick pass from Robinson.
Well, that was a good adjustment pass that they made when Moses was the man double teaming. I think they figured that Mahorn won't hurt him too much.
And the Bullets continue with the bad outside shooting. Robinson couldn't get it to go, but Day on the steal finally converts for the Bullets. 11-8, 7:40 to go in the first quarter. That's 4 points for Day. Tony just inside the three-point area. Andrew Tony with his first 2 of the ball game. 13-8 Sixers. Off balance, Jeff Malone. Sneaking inside to get the basket is Darren Day.
He's off to a good start.
So a good substitution to start the ball game with Day in for Ballard. He's got 6 quick ones. The Doctor, great reverse layup. Doctor has 8. So it's the Darren Day and Julius Erving show out here. So far, Charles Barkley's getting ready to come in for the 76ers. And Jeff Ruland recording to the scorer's table right now for the Bullets. They'll both be coming into the next dead ball. Cliff Robinson having a tough time from the outside. That's what the Sixers want. Keep them outside.
They're not getting real good shots unless they're getting the 2 shots with the Bullets.
Jeff Malone with the foul. Yeah, well,
their primary shot has not been very good.
No, they've been lucky to get some steals and Ruland into the game. They have to get some steals. They've been getting a couple of second or third opportunities on the rebounds, and that's where they've gotten their best shots. See Charles Barkley now into the game, taking it out of bounds for Billy Cunningham and his 76ers.
You can't depend on second shots or steals for your offense.
Not especially in the playoffs. You can't. Even the regular season, it's not a good idea. Looking inside, Barkley battling with Robinson. Cheeks knifes his way through. Good penetration. Billy Cunningham said that he wanted Maurice Cheeks to be more offensive-minded, to make Gus Williams have to work real hard on both ends of the court.
Yeah, one of the best defenses is to make a guy play defense.
Gus gets open and he hits. That time Maurice had trouble fighting over the double screen. 2 points for Gus Williams. Saw the score. Sixers lead by 5. We've got 5:50 to go here in the first quarter. Tony couldn't get the shot off. Throws it away to Ruland. Malone. Jeff Malone cuts it to a 3-point 76er lead.
And looks like the Bullets are starting to find a few little open spaces.
Well, when they get it up the court, Gene Shue felt that they can break against the Sixers. He feels that, especially when Barkley's in the game, that their front line isn't that quick, and they can take advantage of it, which they did the last time down.
Well, the question you have to ask now is that when Billy Cunningham went to his bench, it changed the team defensively.
Great pass. Williams. Robinson couldn't handle it. What a pass by Gus. Clint Richardson now into the ball game. Super play by Gus Williams.
Let's see if we take a look at that. Here goes Gus with that behind-the-back pass there.
Off
Great
the
pass,
dribble.
right.
Hit him right in the hands, and Cliff couldn't believe it. Still 3.6er lead, coming up on the 5-minute mark in the first quarter. Got a foul underneath spotted by Jake O'Donnell. It's going to be on Darren Day, and Greg Ballard's coming in to see his first duty. He's in for Day.
Now, what this
Charles Jones also coming into the ball game.
Now, this is to give with Ballard and Ruland there. That's inside-outside, so that they can have that good outside shooting to go with the strong inside play of Ruland. Because Ruland's pretty tough on the inside.
Little double team trapped by the Bullets. They're back to man-to-man. Malone with a tough shot, but there's Barkley with that strength. Takes it right away from Jones and draws the foul. the round mound of rebound has done it again.
Yeah, I was talking to Billy Cunningham about a great rebound there, and I used that body strength there, although he got knocked away. Barkley is a very good player, and sometimes he's a very good defensive player. But Billy's, because he's trying to pick up new things, it's hard for him to concentrate a long period of time defensively.
Well, defensively, he's really good. I think coming from the weak side to help out block shots are really effective. And of course, great offensive rebounder.
Yes, but then what he'll do sometimes, he'll play real good defense for 2 or 3 minutes and then
have a lapse.
Forget. That's because he's young.
Yeah, well, of course, he and Malone give them the best offensive rebounding team in the league. Ruland has it taken away. Barkley couldn't get it to one of his own men. Good effort, though.
He's a lot quicker than he appears also.
Ruland looking. He's got a mismatch inside. They take the outside shot. Malone misses. Here comes Cheeks. Barkley from Cheeks.
That's one of the things I love about Maurice Cheeks. He has a good... His decisions are correct so much of the time.
21-14. Sixers, the biggest lead of the game. Ruland against Malone. The foul is going to be on Moses Malone. Now see how much it cost them the last time, Bill. They took a tough outside shot. Ruland had Clint Richardson under the basket, wide open, was trying to yell for the ball. They missed him, took an outside shot, and it cost them 2 points. Gus Williams just inside the three-point area. That's the shots that Coach Gene Shue, I'm sure, does not want. Ruland again has it taken away, this time by Richardson. To Cheeks.
Good steal by Gus.
Gus got his hand on it just a little bit, and Cheeks couldn't get his hand out of the way.
Well, it's very difficult to catch a hard pass when someone touches it. Technical
foul being called on Gene Shue by Jake O'Donnell down the other end.
You know, the only thing about getting a technical foul is when you get a tech, you don't know if you got your money's worth. Did you say enough?
I don't think you ever get your money's worth.
Did you say enough so that you feel that he was justified in calling it? And if not, then you walk that borderline. And how much can I say without him calling another one?
Maurice Cheeks converts the technical. 3 points for Maurice and the Sixers with their biggest lead of 8 at the 3:43 mark, first quarter from the Spectrum, the first game of the 1985 playoffs. That's Ballard from Ruland, exactly what we talked about. Ruland got double teamed, Ballard got open, and Gene Shue brought the two of them in at the same time. Greg Ballard has his first 2 points of the ball game. 6-point Sixer lead. Shot clock inside of 10 for the Sixers. Moses triple team. With 5 on the shot clock, Clint Richardson from Malone.
He's been hitting that shot all year.
First 2 for Clint. Jones has a foul against Malone, knocking Jones out of the way off of the miss by Gus. That'll be 2 fouls on Moses Malone as Billy Cunningham takes a timeout and has to talk things over. The last thing he wants is for Moses Malone to get into foul difficulty. See the overall record of the Washington Bullets, and in those 6 games against the Sixers this year, they came out on the short end. They only won 2, lost 4. Back in November was the Bullets 120, the Sixers 105. In November, the Sixers 93-89. They won that game at Washington. In January, the Sixers won 115-104. In February, the Sixers won 116-111. Clem Johnson now in for Moses Malone, up against Ruland. Push off. Clint Richardson shoved Malone out of the way underneath. That's going to be the penalty now against the 76ers. Malone will go to the line. And the last 2 games quickly, Bill, in March, the Sixers won 115-97, and then at Washington on April 13th, near the end of the season, the Bullets won 118-106. So it's nice to win that last game against your first-round competition come playoff time, but they've got their work cut out from the Bullets, do. The Sixers seem to be in control.
Well, Gene Shue is doing a couple of little things that he's spreading out the Sixer defense and making them have to play one-on-one. And when they double team, is able to get with the outside shooting with the team he has there. He has a pretty good team, especially with Moses not being in there.
That's Barkley against, well, 4 men now came over to Barkley. Still double teamed. Shot clock's at 5. From 17, Julius can't get it to drop. Jones with the rebound. Jones can't get the Gus miss to go down. Here come the Sixers. 3-on-2. Good play by Gus to knock it loose. Saved by Malone. Back the other way. Ruland. Jeff Ruland with his first 2 points. Good defensive plays by the Washington Bullets.
Now that's where Ruland's timing might have been off on the fast break and when he posts up, but mostly he'll feel the pressure defensively. That was a great pass by Julius there.
They both went to Julius, but Cheeks can't get it to drop. That was Johnson, blocked by Jones. Here comes Gus. Good play, Maurice Cheeks. On the left, he's got Richardson. And knocked away by Ruland. A little sloppy right now on the part of both teams. Some good defense, but some bad passes as Malone misses.
Another pass that was not really well thought out, but came out okay.
Billy Cunningham say, let's slow it down, fellas, and try and get back into some sort of synchronization here.
Well, this is a unique situation for the Sixers. Very rarely is Moses Malone in foul trouble. And him being in what they consider foul trouble with 2 fouls this early in the game is an unusual situation. So they're going to have to make some adjustments mentally as well as the substitution rotation.
Well, we just had a silly foul on Greg Ballard pushing Julius Erving as Dudley Bradley came into the game for Gus Williams for the Washington Bullets. So it's Bradley and Malone in the backcourt with Ruland, Ballard and Jones taking up to chores in the front line. Erving now with 10 points here in the first period. We've got 1:09 to go. Sixers by 7. Little full court pressure and a trap. It's Greg Ballard and Jeff Ruland. Clem Johnson with the foul. Bobby Jones now comes in for the Sixers.
I think the Sixers right now are out of sync.
Why are they out of sync?
Well, I think, first of all, that the substitution pattern has been thrown off, because what you try to do as a coach is you substitute to keep a unit that can do certain things. You got to have a certain amount of rebounding, you got to have a certain amount of defense, you got to have a certain amount of outside shooting, and hopefully some inside shooting. And you make your substitution rotation so that you maintain this balance.
And what happened with Malone getting in foul trouble that caused the problem?
Well, now you got to go out of. You got a different substitution pattern, so you may be weak in certain areas that you wouldn't ordinarily be weak in.
Jeff Ruland now has 4 points, and the Sixers trail by only 5. 50 seconds to go, first quarter. Sixers not really running their offense well at this juncture, and that's what Bill's talking about. Traveling by Johnson, they were out of sync. It looked like nobody knew where to go in that particular instance, and they paid for it. So now the Bullets have a chance to cut it to a 3-point lead.
Now the Bullets have to catch up and take a lead at this point if they're going to be competitive in this game.
Outside shooting again not working for the Bullets as Ballard misses. And you saw the turnovers, Bill. Both teams with 7. At that rate, they're up close to that 30 mark for the ball game, and that is high, especially for teams that aren't running a lot.
Although the running game is not working too well, but you expect it in the playoffs because the teams that got here are the better defensive teams in the league.
Both trapping, double teaming by the Bullets. That leaves Richardson open. Barkley with another offensive rebound, blocked by Jones. Again, Jones is there, but a foul call this time by Paul Mahalik. Foul is going to be on Jeff Ruland. Jones made 2 good blocks, but it was Jeff Ruland picking up the foul.
Let's see if we can take another look at that now. Here goes. There's a block there.
And a good block, but Ruland reached in, as you saw, with his left hand, and it looks like he slapped Barkley across the right forearm, and it's too bad for the Bullets because Jones had made another good block against Barkley. Barkley has 4 points so far in the ball game. Coming off the bench, Billy Cunningham, if you just joined us, decided to start Bobby Jones. Darren Day is now back in for Greg Ballard.
As far as I've been able
Gus Williams is back in.
As far as I've been able to talk with young Mr. Barkley and the Sixers, he has an extraordinarily fine attitude about starting and not starting and playing. He just wants to get the minutes in, and that really helps the coach when you got guys that want to
6 seconds.
accept whatever the coach comes up with.
Knocked away by Tony, who came back into the ball game. Bradley, three-pointer at the buzzer. It'll count if it goes, but a little long for Dudley Bradley. At the end of the first period, the 76ers have increased their lead back up to 7 points, 28-21. Action, NBA playoff action for you. Bill and I will be bringing you the first game action of Cleveland at Boston, 8:05 Eastern time, and that will be followed immediately with Skip Carey and John Andres bringing you the action for the first game of the series between the Phoenix Suns playing at the Forum against the Los Angeles Lakers. So that's tomorrow, doubleheader NBA playoff action, 8:05 Eastern time, Cleveland at Boston, followed immediately by the Suns against the Lakers with John and Skip.
Rick, I just want to tell you that Red was only one of my coaches.
Only one?
Well, I had more than one coach in pro basketball.
Who was the other coach?
Oh, I really liked him a lot.
That doesn't answer the question, Bill.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Shot clock going down inside of 10 for the Washington Bullets. That's Cliff Robinson, who came back in at the quarter, scores inside over Jones.
And Barkley was there on the weak side, but he wasn't able to be effective after he got there.
Andrew Toney. Little mismatch inside. Bradley has Barkley on him.
That's not that much of a mismatch.
Now Barkley's a good size guard. Three-pointer, Toney. He gets it back. Dudley Bradley didn't screen him off. Toney misses again, though. That was Ruland. Gus with good defense that time by Clint Richardson. Clint was there.
Well,
Gus didn't expect it and had to throw a bad pass.
Well, what Billy Cunningham has put, and these are little things you can do, is that they would rather have Gus not have the ball and bring the ball up because he's a great open court player. So they're double teaming him and trying to keep the outlet pass from going to him so that the other guys have to run the offense.
Toney loses the handle. Made the good move and just couldn't pick it up off the dribble.
See, now with Bradley bringing the ball up, the pace is about at least 25% or 30% slower.
Jones misses the steal. Good play as Robinson went to the basket. That's what you should do. If your man is out of position, go to the basket. 6 points for Robinson.
One way or another.
Blocked on Dudley Bradley. Sixer ball on the sideline. That's the first team foul. And the first foul against Bradley.
Until you get the second or third game of the series, the playoff games, the first game of the series usually are not as exciting because teams don't want to lose that first game. And so they make sure they play not to lose, at least for most of the game.
That was a turnover by Toney, who carried the ball. Ruland inside, and Jones is there.
Jones has made a couple good blocks and went to the offensive board real well on that play.
His first 2 points of the game. It's a 1-point 76er lead at the 10-10 mark. Moses Malone is on the bench with 2 fouls if you just joined us. Good ball movement by the Sixers. That's Charles Barkley. Barkley now has 8 points. Sixers by 3 points. Weak side, Barkley came over a little late, fouls Ruland as he was being fronted by Clement Johnson.
Now that's one of the things about, now let's take another look at Barkley. Now there he goes, the defense right there.
Yeah, as you see, he got there just a little bit late, Bill. He was hanging around, and of course with the new 3-second violation rule that they have, he wasn't able to sneak inside as early as he should have.
But the real good thing I noticed on that play was he was open. In other words, that man-ball relationship, he was wide open.
Oh, he
had
saw
opened
the play,
up. Yes, he could see the play.
Just a hair late, though. Of course, at the conclusion of today's game, Bill and I are going to be selecting the Light Beer Most Valuable Player of the game, and in conjunction with the award, Turner Broadcasting, along with Light Beer for Miller, are going to present a check for $500 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in that player's name. And I'm glad that you pointed out that the teams perhaps don't play as well or as exciting as they normally do later on, Bill, because I have to be honest, this game has not been very impressive from the standpoint of execution and excitement. And I was really pumped up and enthusiastic about it, as I'm sure a lot of the fans were. I'm sure it's going to get better.
Well, the reason is like that. One of the main reasons is the players are pumped up. And any player that tells you that he's not nervous or not scared in the playoffs, if he's telling you the truth, he's got a serious problem.
Yeah, it means he's a liar.
Well, he might be. He may not. Maybe he isn't. But if he isn't, he got other problems.
It's very difficult not to be emotionally high for playoff competition. Having been there ourselves, you more so than me, but
and then you're
playing
usually playing against better defenses too.
That's Jones from 18.
That is not the shot they want.
Here comes Gus. He's against Tony.
And the Bullets will take that anytime. That's what the Sixers have been trying to avoid. And up until that point, they were able to avoid that.
Gus with 4 points, and the Bullets have taken the lead at the 9:20 mark. First lead of the ball game. Bullets have run off 10-2 against the 76ers to take the lead. Good block, Bradley against Tony. Julius Erving coming back in along with Maurice Cheeks for the 76ers, but Moses Malone remains on the bench.
Let's take a look at that block. There goes the block right there from behind, which is tough defensive work on a guy like Andrew Toney.
Robinson on the Tony miss.
And Cheeks is there to hound Gus to make sure he didn't bring it up.
The Bullets, with 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, find themselves leading the Sixers by 1 point, and this is the first game of the NBA playoffs. Maurice Cheeks comes over to double, and there's the rotation defensively by the Sixers.
And little bitty steps by Jones, but he got away with it.
And he draws the foul. Jones doing an excellent job on the boards and also defensively down the other end.
Now, the last game of the season, the Bullets were able to beat the Sixers, and I had the feeling they picked up the feeling that maybe we can beat this team. They weren't sure, but they said, well, maybe we can beat this team. Because in that game, they felt that the Sixers were trying to win, and they were playing for something. They weren't just finishing the season.
Moses Malone has come back in for the 76ers. Jones with only 2 points in the ball game, but he still has been effective. Trying to increase that Bullet lead to 2. Which he does. 32-30, the Bullets. And let's see if they go quickly to Malone inside. Little pressure by Washington. Doctor got hung up in the air, but he gets it back as Williams couldn't control the loose ball.
Now, when the Bullets went to that presser, there was a 1-3-1 zone. Double team with a 1-3-1. Now, the Sixers sometimes will counter with that, but they will show a 1-3-1 and rotate into a 2-1-2.
What a great pass by Jeff Ruland to the cutting Charles Jones, who now has 5 points, and the Bullets go back into the lead by 2 at the 8:10 mark of the second quarter. The 76ers now realize that they are going to have their work cut out for them against this Washington Bullet team. Robinson off the Tony miss. Ruland's wide open on the right. Passes a little bit behind him. Tony was out of bounds when he tried to save it. So a break for Washington.
Took a little steps because he never got control of it well enough.
Now, I don't know if that's a good pass to make, although Ruland's a pretty good ball handler, but to throw the ball to a 6'11" man when he's that far out on the court, it's very difficult sometimes to handle it.
Well, when he's in sync and when he's playing well, he catches that pass.
Well, with 7:52 to go, the Bullets are in the lead by 2 over the 76ers. Eastern Conference, you see tomorrow, Cleveland, Boston, New Jersey, Detroit. The little green star indicates a Superstation game. Friday, it'll be Chicago at Milwaukee. Then Thursday in the West, it'll be Phoenix at LA. We'll be doing that game. San Antonio at Denver, Portland at Dallas. On Friday, Utah will be playing at Houston. And we'll have more of the playoff picture and a preview of what is to come with Red Auerbach and Gary Miller, and hopefully John Andres at halftime at the Prudential Sports Update. What a turnaround in the field goal percentage here in the second period. Washington now 71.4%, 5 for 7. Philly only 2 for 7, 28.6%. So the basket has gotten a little bit smaller for the 76ers. And the Bullets have only taken 1 outside shot so far here in the second quarter. And in the first quarter, they were only 4 for 14 outside. So getting that inside game going, Bill, has been a big turning point for the Bullets.
Well, since the middle of the first quarter, when Moses went out, the Bullets have been in control.
That was Bradley from the outside. And Jones again keeps it alive. He gets it back one more time. And they are dominating on the offensive boards, Bill, 10-4.
And Cliff Robinson kept it alive, too. They actually had 3 shots before they made that last basket.
7 points for Jones. Malone draws a lot of blue shirts and also gets the basket. Moses Malone now with 5 points. 2-point Bullet lead. Pressure from the 76ers. Ruland sets a little pick to free Bradley. That's Cliff Robinson.
And Bradley made a good move. He beat the defense because they were trying to pick up. And he, instead of just pulling up at half court, he penetrated and attacked his zone all the way to the basket. So he ended up with Cliff Robinson having an easy shot.
Maurice Cheeks crawls one in. Foul spotted underneath. Jeff Ruland very upset walking away with the ball just outside the screen.
Let's see if we can, from the midget cam, we can see whether anything there.
There's Ruland right there. If you saw him right underneath the midget cam, his left arm went and he kind of threw Moses out of the way.
And that's quite a throw.
That is. Strong fellow to be able to throw Moses Malone out of the way. Moses now with 6 points, and the Sixers trail by 1 with 6:50 to go here in the second quarter. Look at the defense of Cheeks. Look at Cheeks work on the defense. Cheeks reaches in, draws the foul.
Now what happens is, the reason Cheeks got that foul, he was hounding Gus, but Gus got a step on him, and Julius had to pick him up. And then they created a mismatch because Robinson had the easy shot if Maurice didn't foul him. So sometimes you might have to let up a little bit on that pressure. But he's really putting it on. And that's interesting to watch because he's playing, I think he might follow Gus over to the bench.
Well, he has the green light from Billy Cunningham to go wherever he likes defensively. If he wants to go and double team, he has the license to do that. One of the few players Billy will give that to. Jones is another one. Rick Mahorn has come back into the ball game.
Well, with Gus Williams, you don't want to go a lot of double teaming if that's your man. You might, instead of being a double teamer, you might be the guy that's calling for the help.
Jeff Malone has come back in. Dudley Bradley back to the bench for the Bullets. And Bobby Jones had a lane violation, and that's the reason why Cliff Robinson has another free throw. Gives the Bullets a 3-point lead, 40-37 at the 6:35 mark of the second quarter.
And now they're trying. There's was a 2-1-2, I believe, on that double team.
There's the double on Malone.
And if they hadn't gotten that shot off quick, they could have called the
illegal defense, I
yes.
think. Robinson with the rebound. Gus comes up short. And that was Malone controlling for the Sixers. Cheeks has it blocked by Jones, but they call the foul. There's Maurice Cheeks knifing through him. Now, right there, Jones did. He hit him on the forearm first, and then he went up to the ball. It was an excellent call on the part of Paul Mahalik underneath the basket. He didn't have the greatest angle, but he still saw it.
Not only are you saying nice things about the referees, but you called it and you pronouncing their names very well. That's quite nice, Rick.
Well, I've been working on that elocution tape of yours. Maurice Cheeks with 6 points in the ball game. Charles Barkley, the doctor, and Malone, Tony, and Cheeks, the starting lineup. Well, no, not the starting lineup. The normal starting lineup, aside from Jones having started today's ball game, is back in now for the 76ers. Erving on the Mahorn miss. Chance for the Sixers to go back in the lead. They trail by 1 at 5:40 to go in the half. The doctor scores, goaltending Jones. Julius on a beautiful finger roll move across the middle.
You got to make that one go in. You can't goaltend on that one. You got to.
Too tough a shot.
Yes.
If he makes that one, he deserves it.
Right.
The Sixers in the lead again. They led by 7 at the end of the first quarter. Robinson over Barkley. Tough
now,
shot.
that's the shot you want to give the guy if he's going to post you up, because he ended up being about 16 feet out.
And a difficult angle. 12 for Robinson. They're back in the lead now by 1. And Cheeks crawls over the backboard with that shot. It'll be Washington ball on the side.
Little violation there.
Coming up on 5 minutes to go here in the first half. The Bullets leading by 1, 42-41. It has not been an exceptionally well-played ball game.
There's a double team. Tough shot.
Julius with good defense made Malone take a very difficult shot.
It was a bad shot.
He should have moved the ball back outside because they had people wide open on the perimeter from only 15 feet.
Well, what happened, he saw the opening and he went in there to get a shot. And he was going to take a shot no matter what.
Second quarter, Washington dominating on the boards. They have 9 rebounds, 4 on the offensive end, to only 3 for Philadelphia. Tony from 19. That was flat. Mahorn with the rebound.
And now this is a Bullet's pace of game.
Well, Gene Shue wanted to slow it down, and he's been able to do that. Cliff Robinson off of the screen from Mahorn. Julius keeps it alive, and Malone controls. Jeff Ruland is going to come back in for the Bullets.
And the Bullets are reacting well defensively to stop the Sixers from running on them, because they're getting back and they're checking the outlet pass.
Mahorn and Barkley like 2 water buffaloes colliding. That was unbelievable.
I think the whole building.
I would have hated to be in between those 2 guys on that play, Bill. Let's watch him coming from the weak side. Now watch Mahorn at the top of your screen come over when Barkley is fronted by Robinson. There he is in the air. They bounced off of one another like 2 billiard balls. Here's another angle.
The weak
Here
side
we
help.
go. Watch it. Ba-boom.
I think the whole building shook just a
Oh,
little bit.
boy. And did you notice that neither one of them paid any attention to it? Like it was nothing? Barkley with 8 points in the ball game. Chance to tie it at 42 with the 4:04 mark of the second quarter. And he can't do it. Jeff Ruland. Jones kept it alive, but Cheeks gets it. Ruland having a tough time on his inside game. Of course, his timing suffering, having been out for over 40 games at the end of the season. The Doctor. 16 for Julius. Julius Erving, a big factor in the 76ers having the lead by 1 with 3:30 to go in the first half. Remember, Red Auerbach, John Andres, and Gary Miller will be coming up. Prudential Sports Update. Great pass to Jones and a great block by Barkley.
Like, you don't see a lot of dunks blocked very much anymore.
Julius tried to draw the foul when he had Jones in the air. They didn't blow the whistle, and he didn't get the shot to drop. Malone to Barkley, who takes it home. And the Sixers again establishing that inside game. They did it in the first quarter to lead by 7. They went outside in the second, and the Bullets came back to take the lead, and now the Sixers lead 45-42 as Gene Shue calls a timeout. And let's take another look at that block by Barkley.
Good pass. Right there.
And no goaltending. Philadelphia by 3.
America's game. It's fantastic.
We just found out that Booby here drinks the same beer as me, Corky, Sparky, Buck, and Boom Boom.
Hey, Bill, our first controversial play of the playoffs. Tell us about it.
Now, when he goes with a block, if you see right here, he has handed the ball's on the backboard and the rim. I think that's goaltending.
Yes. According to the rules, that was supposed to be goaltending. The Sixers get a big break, even though Charles Barkley made a great effort to get there. It should have been goaltending, but it was not. The Bullets trail by 3. 2:45 to go in the first half.
Tough shot by Malone.
Great rebound by Robinson, though.
Yes.
Super effort by Cliff Robinson, who has 14 points. So he and the Doctor carrying the offensive burden for both teams. Gus Williams got hit in the chest or on the hand or something. He looks like
no, the chest. Definitely the chest.
Taking a deep breath.
And there goes the Doctor again, wide open. And Barkley
with another offensive rebound.
And a good offensive move there.
12 for Barkley. So the Barkley and the Doctor have 28 between them.
Do you realize how many BTUs of energy he's using to move a body like that as well as he's moving it?
That wasn't one of my best subjects, Bill. Williams from 17 comes up short. It'll be Sixer ball.
Now, these two guys have really made a difference in the Cliff Robinson and Gus Williams have really made the Bullets a better team they were last year. But they've had so many injuries that they haven't really been able to capitalize on it.
Jeff Malone is holding onto his back. He's gone out of the game. Dudley Bradley's come in. Look at that. Three men around Malone, and he still scores. Reminds you of shades of Elvin Hayes, the way he used to do it for the Bullets with all those men around him. But you really, a lot of times, got to give it up. 8 points to Malone.
And you better know how to give it up.
76ers back up to a 5-point lead. Knocked away by Maurice Cheeks. Who else?
Great defensive play there.
And Maurice will score if it... Oh, it would count if it goes.
We call that on Gus. And Gus is not pleased with that, but I can see his hand go out from over here. Let's see if we can see it now. There's a steal there. Now, if you watch, when he gets down into the paint down here.
Okay, we didn't have the final replay, but when he saw what the opportunity was, he took advantage. And as you say, he makes such good decisions offensively. Here it is.
Now, watch, there's Gus's hand there. See, that's the play they call right there. You can see his hand go out. And even if you don't touch him, they're going to call that.
But you see what he did was so smart, though, Bill. He made a move to the left side, knowing that if he drew the defense, you see Charles Barkley was in the picture there, so that the defense had to come to him. If not, Barkley, he was open, and if they did, he could have passed to Barkley, but he was fouled prior to that by Williams.
But he makes, as I said earlier, such good decisions on where to go with the ball.
Phillies run off 10-2 to go back in the lead by 7. Ruland again loses it inside. That's about the 4th time that's happened, and that's Cheeks. Maurice Cheeks. The biggest lead of the game for the Sixers. They're up by 9 with 1:05 to go. A great spurt here by the 76ers. 12-2 to take control.
And what makes that so tough is the defense.
Three-pointer. Bradley, count it.
Well, they come up with steals, bad shots. But you got to, when you're up 12-2, you got to get 12 here, but you got to keep the other guys from getting 12 also.
Bradley's first points of the game. The three-pointer. 6-point lead for the Sixers. 40 seconds coming up to go here in the first half. Moses Malone from 18. He's got 10.
Moses has a better range than you would imagine in most cases. He can shoot that ball pretty good from 17, 18 feet.
But you still would like to see him shooting it there if you're the opposing coach as opposed to underneath. Barkley fouling Robinson. Very obvious foul against Barkley. That's going to be 4 fouls against the Sixers. It'll be washing the ball on the sideline as Clement Johnson comes in for Moses. Bobby Jones is also reporting in. He'll be coming in for Charles Barkley.
Now that's to make sure that you don't get another foul, either one of those guys on the defensive end.
And of course at halftime, John Andres, Red Auerbach, and Gary Miller with the potential sports update and a preview to the playoff action that you'll be seeing here on Superstation WTBS, and we hope that you'll join us for all of that action. This game starting to heat up, but then the Sixers got real hot. Bradley inside. Clement Johnson wanted an offensive foul.
Very interesting to watch Maurice Cheeks on Gus Williams and Bobby Jones on Cliff Robinson. 2 great defensive players on 2 great offensive players, which is interesting matchups to make sure you get that. A lot of times a guy as good as Maurice Cheeks is, the coach doesn't want to put him on a guy that tough because he's getting foul trouble. But he plays the good defense so soundly that he does not get into foul trouble very often.
Some more substitutions. Rick Mahorn's back in for Jeff Ruland. Andrew Toney has come back into the ball game.
BB. Bradley Brick.
Bradley Brick. Okay. Shot clock.
Now you can get the NBA feeling. Be part of the action when you choose from this official NBA catalog. Over 60 different items are available for your favorite team. Authentic NBA game jerseys and shorts, warm-up jackets, pants, game balls, and socks. To get your catalog, send $1 credited to your first order to NBA Catalog, Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. Every page is filled with official NBA licensed products, sweatshirts, sweatpants, and warm-up suits, T-shirts, and pullovers. Or choose the official jacket of the NBA from Starter Sportswear. And there's a great assortment of novelties, gifts, and toys, plus videotapes of great NBA action. Just send $1 today and get your NBA catalog. Send to NBA Catalog, Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. Get this NBA exercise watch free with all orders over $50. Get the NBA feeling.
America's Super Shootout, the NBA Playoffs. Brought to you in part by Honda, makers of the Prelude.
As we start the second half, Moses Malone for the 76ers. Goaltending call. The basket went in anyway, so Moses now has 12 points in the ball game. Same starting lineup for the Sixers. Tony, Cheeks, Malone, Erving, and Bobby Jones. Little change for... Oh, a turnover by Bradley. Moses to Tony. And quickly the
made
76ers
two fine plays.
jump out to an 11-point lead, and Gene Shue has called a timeout. We don't even have time to set the starting lineup that he had, and we'll do that when we come back because the Bullets are in big trouble. A quick look at the first half statistics, and the most telling tale, of course, the field goal percentages. The Bullets only 39%, and that was the big story. And we'll take a quick look at the individual scoring statistics a little bit later.
Rick, I was talking to Jake at halftime and asked him about that call.
Right, we should clear that one up when we get a chance as Bradley from the outside scores. Let me set those starting lineups in the second half. It's Bradley, Williams, Robinson, Jones, and Ruland for the Bullets. He said that if the ball does not leave the player's hand, then they can pin it against the board. Right. And so it was a legal block by Charles Barkley. That's why there was no goaltending. So the officials are right on top of it. And we apologize for criticizing you, men.
Well, let's
not get carried away.
Don't say we on that particular situation, Rick.
Oh, I see. So you're apologizing.
Oh, you can have that one.
Sixers ball on the sideline. And the difference in the game was the inside game in that first half. Philadelphia dominating in there. Tony with the tough pass to Malone, but it's saved by Cheeks. Shot clock down, and it finally goes off. 24-second violation against the 76ers.
Now, Billy Cunningham came out with full-court pressure defensively, and he has a good defensive team, and that's one of the best ways to get your team in sync is to play, use a stunt on defense or full-court pressure. And they got the Bullets back to that. He took steps to that, got that on the standing around. And even if he had made a shot then, they had no one going to the offensive board because they were standing around. So that transition from offense to defense would have been poor even if he hadn't walked with the ball.
And you can see Jeff Ruland having a difficult time. He even said his timing is not quite back to normal, and that's to be expected, having missed all of those games. Shot clock inside of 10 for the 76ers again. Blocked by Robinson, and Ruland controls. Got 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
The Sixers have managed to keep the Bullets from breaking it all, though. And with Gus Williams out there, they got to get the ball to him to get some easy baskets. Because if you're going to play that tough, hard-nosed defense for a whole game, you got to get some easy baskets.
Robinson gets off the floor. They took advantage of it, got it to Jones, but he couldn't handle it, and a jump ball with Jones. Cliff Robinson having an outstanding game. He had 14 at the half. The last basket he scored for Washington to cut the Philly lead to 7. Gives him, of course, 16.
And the Jones, the one for the Bullets, has two brothers playing this league. So this is a family affair, the NBA for this.
Right, Caldwell Jones, a former 76er. That was Chicago. And Major Jones, who's at Detroit now. Cliff Robinson with 18 points. Cuts it to a 5-point 76er lead at the 9:30 mark here in the third quarter. So again, the Bullets, after trailing and falling behind, are starting to make a run back at the 76ers. They did take the lead midway through the second period, only to lose that lead to the Sixers at the half.
But it's such a drain. Now, Ruland put the old body in there, and he says, what did I do?
He said he was just standing there.
No, he wasn't just standing there.
Let's see. Let's see what he was doing. There he is. He's standing.
There's the body there. He's standing now.
Yeah, right, after he made the contact. Jeff Malone, who started the ball game and is on the bench now, wrenched his back, as we reported to you, towards the end of that first half, and he did not start the second half. We sitting over there. I don't know if he's got ice on it or he's got heat on it at the end of the bench, sitting next to Tom McMillan, but he has injured his back. That's Ruland to Bradley. And that's what Gene Shue likes, that Ruland will kick it out when he gets the double team. 8 points for Dudley Bradley.
And they've moved themselves right back into this game. They're not about to give up the ghost for a while.
Jones, good defense against the doctor. Bradley controls, foul Tony. Charles Barkley coming in for the 76ers.
Let's see if we can take a look at that. There's a shot by the doctor. There's the foul there. Actually, Tony had no choice. He got his hand on the ball, and when Bradley turned his body, he pulled his arm with him.
Short, Robinson.
Had to be stepped.
Traveling against Cheeks. Cunningham off the bench on that.
Bradley turned his body, he pulled his arm with him.
Short, Robinson.
Had to be stepped.
Traveling against Cheeks. Cunningham off the bench on that call, as you see them there.
Yeah, that was a good call. Although you're supposed to give a guy room to turn around, but there was no contact. When he turned around, he was there, and then he moved out of the way. If there had been contact, it would have been a defensive foul.
Chance for the Washington Bullets to cut the 4.6 lead. Ruland. That time he didn't draw any traffic. The Sixers didn't collapse on him, and he had a chance to make his move. He's got 8 points.
Now, see, plays like that, his lack of conditioning and timing will not affect it. It's only when he has to make lateral moves and defensive moves.
Washington has run off 10-1. They trail now only by 2 with 8:12 to go in the third quarter. A reminder that this program is authorized under rights that are granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of you, our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
You notice these bench scoring there, but the ebbs and flows of this game have been rather drastic. One team went off 12-1 and 10-1 and
12-2.
12-2.
It's been like a roller coaster ride here. Shot clock is at 5. That was Erving who almost tipped it in, and Jones controls for Washington. A chance for the Bullets to tie it with 7:45 to go in the third quarter. Sixers with the trap. Jones, watch out.
Good move and a good pass by Ruland, because he pulled the double team out a little bit too far, and he left it wide open.
Jones now with 8 points. You see the shooting percentages here in the third quarter. One of the reasons for that run by Washington. It was our third tie, and that's our 7th now lead change. The Sixers going back into the lead.
Now that was a great
Williams.
play, and Ruland set that up by setting a pick in the backcourt, although Maury Cheeks didn't run into the pick. In order to go around it, he got a half step behind Gus, and you give him a half a step.
Watch out. Oh, nice play by Cheeks, who had lost the ball to screen off so that Erving could get it. Gene Shue wanted a foul on Cheeks on that play. Traveling against Tony. Excellent defense by Dudley Bradley, and who was there to block it? But Charles Jones, who's having an outstanding game. Played so well in the first half, he's come off to start the second.
The defense here, he's giving ground, so...
He did move his both feet.
Oh, yes.
Ruland gets it away from Malone. Barkley, foul. The Bullets starting to establish an inside game, and let's take a look at it.
Here's his block, and he got his arm there.
Real close.
Ruland's doing a good job for the Bullets, getting the ball inside, and when he's picking up the double team, he's felt lucky on that one because he thought he had missed it. When he gets a double team, he's been able to pass it off for a couple of good assists, so he's really being a factor so far.
9 points and 6 rebounds. And we also heard Malone also hurt his back a little bit there towards the end of the first half, along with Jeff Malone. Of course, Moses is in playing. Malone, Jeff, with the Bullets on the bench. Barkley got caught up in the air, had nothing to do with it, gave it to Williams. Robinson had nowhere to go. Both teams not executing the way their coach would like them to. That's not a good shot by Julius. Good defense by Jones. But Barkley was there.
Good offensive
Robinson
rebound.
knocked it away. And they're going to call a foul on Dudley Bradley reaching in. At the 5:51 mark, the Bullets still lead now by 1 point.
I'm really impressed by the amount of time. Watch how far, now watch how much territory Charles Barkley covers in getting that ball. He covered an area of about 8 feet laterally, and that's pretty good lateral movement.
And they're calling it a shooting foul, so Barkley at the line for 2 free throws. Barkley has 12 points in the ball game, having a tough time at the line. He's missed his last 3 shots in the line. He's 3 for 7, 4 for 7 from the free throw line. The inside game, Bill, but big factor in that first half. Washington was only 11 for 26, Philly 15 for 22. And that was a telling tale. The team that seemed to control the inside game is the team that was able to make those runs. And the Bullets have done it here in the third quarter. We're tied at 63, 5:45 to go. Third quarter. Again, a good pass from Ruland, and Bradley converts it. Bradley with 10. The Bullets by 2. Triple team on Moses. And Moses does what he must do in that situation. Kick it out, and Maurice Cheeks converts for the 76ers. He's got 13 points. Tied at 65, 5:10 in the third quarter to go.
You know, so far, Gus Williams has not been a real factor in this game. And in the playoffs, you look at the scoring numbers, and you say, well, maybe he didn't have a good series.
That's not a good shot.
Yeah, I know it's a bad shot, but Maurice Cheeks is doing such a job, and almost concentrating on him so hard that although Gus is playing, I think he's playing reasonably well. It's just that they're concentrating on getting a good shot.
Barkley with a tough shot. Robinson was there. Clint Richardson, who came in on that last free throw, was there for the offensive rebound and basket. Clint with 4 points. And I'll tell you what's happening to Gus, Bill, and I can speak firsthand experience. He is frustrated with the great defensive job that Cheeks is doing on him. And in that case, a lot of times, you start to press a little bit, and you wind up taking tough shots. And Gus's shot selection has not been good as Malone knocks it out of bounds on a good defensive play. And that's what happens. A good offensive player will get frustrated when a defender's doing a good job, and you're not in the flow of the game offensively. And a good indication was that poor shot that Gus just took the last trip down. Great play. Jones, the ball almost came out. He dunked it in, and he was running down, and the ball popped out and went back in. Jones now with 11 points. And we're tied again at 67. Bobby Jones will be reporting in for the 76ers. Bernie Bickerstaff, you may see at the top of the screen there, along with Shue up off the bench, giving instructions for the Bullets. Foul is going to be on Gus Williams. Two fouls on Gus Williams. Doctor goes to the bench as Bobby Jones comes in. 3 team fouls against the Bullets, only 2 against the 76ers. We've got 3:55 to go here in the third quarter. Good pass, Barkley to Malone. Good defense again by Jones, but they call the foul. They hit Moses in the head, but he was there from the weak side, and I'm impressed with the effort that Jones has put forth tonight, Bill.
Yes, he's working hard. He's a great leaper, but he's got real good lateral movement. That's why he's able to make the defensive plays.
Looks more like Caldwell than Major, though.
That's because he's thinner.
No, in the face. Here's the play again. There's Moses coming over. Jones was there to try and help out, and as he went by, he made Moses change the shot, but he caught Moses in the head, and that's where the foul was. And Malone puts the Sixers ahead by 2. 3:45 to go here in the third quarter. The trap by the Sixers, thrown away.
Throw it away.
No, they say it was last touch, though, that a Sixer got a hand on it, so it'll be Bullets' ball. Billy Cunningham thinks otherwise.
Looked like it almost worked.
Ruland Good defense by Malone. He's fouled in the backcourt by Jones. Silly foul that time by Charles. That'll be 4 against Charles.
And he goes on the head again.
Yeah, he's got something about his hand and Moses' head. There's an attraction there. .332 to go. Bullets in the penalty. Third quarter. Malone with a chance to increase the lead. Greg Ballard will be coming in probably for Jones. Malone has 15 points and 5 rebounds so far in the contest. And there's Ballard, who snuck into the picture just off to the left side. And Jones indeed has gone to the bench. Moses looking for a 17th point. 4-point lead for the 76ers at the 22nd timeout by Gene Shue. What do you think he's telling them, Bill?
Well, they've charted some things that the Sixers do, I think, defensively, and then that are causing problems for them. And so what they do is they get their charts from the games before and say, now this is the way this is what they're doing. We've seen them do it. We looked at the film. Now this is the best way to break it. But the key, I think, to breaking any press is after you beat it, is to go all the way to the hoop. Because then you discourage them from doing it. Because if you spread it out and stretch them so they can't get to it, then they have to be a little tentative if you get a couple of dunk shots on them.
Well, also, if you're playing into their hands, actually, if you don't go to the hole, because if you keep it outside, what happens is that you've used up a lot of time on the clock, which they want you to do, so you don't have as much time to run your set offense anyway, and you wind up forcing up some bad shots.
And basically, you have a 3-on-2.
Good pass inside, and Williams couldn't handle it from Ruland. He had a layup if he had caught the ball.
The breaking pitch. Low and away.
Knuckler. Sixers led by 7 at the end of the
It wasn't a wild
quarter.
pitch, it was a pass ball.
Led by 7 at the half. They fell behind here in the third, and now they've got the lead by 4. Make it 6, and Malone's the man who has given them the last 6 points. Malone now has 19.
And after sitting out the most of this second half of the first quarter, Moses come back to...
Good defense, knocked away. Maurice Cheeks is there from Barkley. Ruland, good hustle, saves it to Bradley.
Good defense. No whistle. Come out with the ball.
Darren Day is reported to the scorer's table. He started the ball game, did not start the second half. Got off to a good start with 6 quick points as Robinson goes over Barkley. Malone kept it alive, and Cheeks came away with it. Richardson on the trail. That's Ballard with the rebound. Three-pointer, Bradley. He hit one in the first half. Ruland. Malone with a big acting job. Back to the 4-point lead for the Sixers. We're inside of 2 minutes now to go here in the third quarter.
Sometimes you have to do that when you're completely out of position. The guy's going to shoot. You gamble, you fall away. And if the referee doesn't call it, you haven't lost anything and you haven't gotten any foul trouble.
Richardson with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Bradley rebound. Williams open. Gus Williams now has 8 points. And Billy Cunningham wants a timeout. 1:28 to go. The Sixers, who jumped back out to 6 points after losing the lead early, find themselves only leading by 2.
The excitement of the NBA. Now you can get the NBA feeling. Be part of the action when you choose from this official NBA catalog. Over 60 different items are available for your favorite team. Authentic NBA game jerseys and shorts, warm-up jackets, pants, game balls, and socks. To get your catalog, send $1 credited to your first order to NBA Catalog, Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. Every page is filled with official NBA license.
Merchandise catalog by sending $1 to the NBA Catalog, Post Office Box 800800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. And of course, your dollar is going to be credited towards that first order. That's $1 to the NBA Catalog, P.O. Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington. I think it was 98108, wasn't it? They took it off the screen, so I don't have it in front of me. I hope that's correct. The zip code, right? And here you see the shooting percentages in the third quarter. What the Bullets have been able to do, and the Sixers have not, is got them back into the ball game. The Bullets at the end of the first half were only shooting 39%, so they have made quite a turnaround here in the third quarter to trail only by 2. 1:25 to go in the third quarter. Nice play by Ruland. And Gus saves it. The Bullets trying to tie it at 73 with 1:05 to go in the third quarter. And Cliff Robinson is in and out. Foul, backcourt, Ballard. That'll send Tony to the line. 1:01 to go here in the third quarter.
And both teams are using that double and triple team with the other 2 guys and the other 3 guys zoning on the other side there, or right down the middle.
And the penalty has hurt the Washington Bullets. Moses Malone got 4 in the penalty situation from the free throw line. Tony with a chance to add 2 more to that total. It's helped them to maintain that that lead that they had of 7 points to start the third quarter. But now they can only go up by 3 if Tony converts here. A concerned Gene Shue looking on. He has to be pleased, though, that his team is right there in the hunt.
Now they have Andrew Tony on Gus. He's a good defensive player, solid defensive player, but he's not nearly as good as...
Oh, long shot by Ballard. He's got 4 points just inside the 3-point area. Bullets trail by 1.
But he's not as effective as Mark Cheeks is.
Malone short. Rebound, Robinson. Now the Bullets with a chance to take the lead with 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. Both Gus Williams and Andrew Toney, who are guarding one another, are having off nights offensively. Toney only has 5 points. Williams only has 8. Shot clock is down to 7. 3-pointer, Gus Williams. Count it. And the Bullets jump out to a 2-point lead over the 76ers with Gus Williams. 3-point shot. He has 11 points. 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Sixers with a chance to tie it here at the end of the third quarter.
And just when they thought it was safe to drop off with Gus.
And again, the penalty, Darren Day fouling Andrew Toney, who was isolated one-on-one on the right side. So Toney with 2 more chances at the free throw line, and we could be tied. 5 seconds to go in the quarter. See 2 fouls on Day. Dudley Bradley coming in for the Washington Bullets after this first free throw by Andrew. It's plenty of time for the Bullets to get the last shot of the quarter. Ballard to the bench. Bradley in. And look at the difference in the free throws. We talked about that has really helped Philadelphia to keep them in here. They've lost the 7-point lead, tied at 76. 4, 3, 2. 3-pointer, Ruland, no way. At the end of the third quarter, we have played 36 minutes of basketball. We're all tied. We've got 12 more minutes of action to come. Shots and 7 for 12 on their outside shots. That's Washington. Philly 5 for 10 inside, but they took 9 outside shots and only hit 1 of them in the third quarter.
Now comes crunch time. The last quarter, you can start all even. And now you got to play good, solid defense and cut down your turnovers.
Great ball movement. Malone inside from Bobby Jones. We've got Cheeks, Tony, Malone, Barkley, and Bobby Jones for the Sixers. It's Bradley, Ballard, Jones, Day, and Ruland for Washington. Good fake by Ruland.
He's having a good game. They're making some good passes to him because when Moses fronts him, he's holding his position so they can use a little lob pass.
13.
Which is not an easy pass to make, incidentally.
No, it is not. It has to be perfectly thrown. Ruland has 13. Malone over Ruland. Good defense, but Barkley is right there to take it home. Charles Barkley. 15 for Charles. Sixers lead by 2.
And Ruland just rang Tony's bell on that pick.
They said they're going to send somebody back to set some of those picks. Gene Shue wasn't kidding, was he? 3-pointer, Ballard. Barkley saves it just before going out of bounds. Tony just walked with the ball. He took a step, a whole step, moved both feet, never dribbled it. They didn't call traveling. Malone scores over Ruland. 23 for Moses. Sixers now again up by 4 points. 10:40 to go in the ball game.
Now, if the Sixers can pull out the 6 or 8 point lead and make the Bullets have to play catch up, that's really to their advantage.
And that's one way of not allowing them to do that. Greg Ballard. Ballard now with 6 points.
Well, that's a shot at this time of the game. You want them to take the outside shots. You don't want them inside the paint.
Barkley squares up over Jones, falling away. Not a good shot by Charles. No reason to fall back in that shot. His man wasn't even near him.
But it felt good.
Yeah, you keep saying that. Feels good, looks lousy. Result stinks. Good defense again by who? Maurice Cheeks. Can't get the tough left-hand to go, but look who's there. Barkley again. What an effort by Charles Barkley. Gene Shue wants a timeout. What a great effort by Charles Barkley. Superior hustle using that strength and body. Standing ovation for Charles. A timeout with 9:42 to go. The Sixers are up by 4.
Fly Delta.
Okay, let's take a look at the rebounding. You can see very close. Philadelphia with the slight lead. And the offensive rebounds, Philadelphia getting a little bit stronger in that department with Charles Barkley. And the points off of those rebounds, of course, are not that big a differential. Fast breaks also very close. Both teams, oh, good shot by Robinson. Both teams had 12 points off of breaks at the end of the third quarter. 20 points for Cliff Robinson. Anytime you can match the Sixers for points off the break, Bill, you have to feel you're ahead of the game, especially if you're a team like Washington. That's Andrew Toney. And Robinson's got to get up on him. You can't give Toney that outside shot. Make him put it on the floor.
That's a mismatch out there. When you're over 6'8", over 6'6", and you got Toney, that's a mismatch outside.
Toney has 9. This is Day. Foul. Barkley, score it.
Good
great individual effort.
Yes. Because he went in and took his whipping. Because if you go in there under those conditions, you know you're going to get a hit. You're going to get hit pretty good.
See 4 fouls up, Barkley. Let's watch again. Darren Day. Bumped with the body. Look at the fantastic body control that he had, enabling him to still turn his body, get the shot off while he was falling to the ground, making it, and a chance to convert it for a 3-point effort. He does it, and the Bullets trail by only 1 with 8:50 to go in the game. Day with 9 points so far. The Sixers were worried about this team, as we pointed out at the top of the telecast, and you can see why.
And they got Day guarding Cheeks, which is an interesting matchup.
And Bradley is on Toney. Shot clock is at 7. They left Cheeks as Day went to double, and he paid for it. Maurice with 15.
That's one of the reasons interesting. Because he's the type of guy, he's so quiet. I bet you if he said something to one of the guys on the other team, they wouldn't know who said it.
Robinson, the doctor, in the ball game here. Along with Barkley and Malone in the front court. Battles inside with Ballard. Throws it away. Bradley threw it behind Day, but Robinson tracks it down. Good ball movement by Washington. Robinson falling away, comes up short. Wide open, the doctor. He'll take it home.
That hurts.
The Doc with 20.
They're inside there and didn't come up with anything. And then they give up a dunk shot.
5-point lead for the Sixers. Quickly, Gene Shue wants a timeout. Jeff Ruland and Gus Williams will be back in the lineup when we start action again after this pause. 90-85, the Sixers with 7:32 to go in the game.
Shootout, the NBA playoffs. David meets Goliath in the opening round. Defending champion Boston clashes with Cleveland. But wait, Phoenix tries to take a bite out of the Lakers. America's Super Shootout, the NBA playoffs. It all begins live at 8:05 p.m. Eastern, only on Superstation WTBS Thursday.
Okay, Bill Russell, I have an opinion. You know, they say I'm an opinionated person, so I have one. My opinion of what's happened to the Bullets is that they're still relying too much on that outside shot. In the third quarter, they got inside and they shot well from the outside. They were 13 for 19 for that great percentage. Here in the fourth period, I think, again, they're not trying to get that inside game because they were hot in the third quarter. They're still shooting from the outside.
Well, what has happened is the Sixers have adjusted their defense, which they're constantly upgrading. When you see what the guys are doing, you can make adjustments, what I call upgrading, and change the defense a little bit so that they have
position right now for both ball clubs. 7:30 to go in the game. The Sixers lead by 5, 90 to 85. Ruland, great pass off to Jones, and a great block by Barkley. Saves Tony. And last touch by Bradley. So Charles Barkley with an outstanding effort again inside to give the ball back to Philly.
That's what Billy Cunningham told me, that sometimes he can be absolutely brilliant defensively. And then he'll go into a lapse. But tonight he's come on a few good plays.
He has. The Sixers trying to increase their lead to get it back up to the 7 that they led at the end of the half. And Robinson called for reaching in. First team
now that's
foul
a gamble that Gene Hughes is making, putting Cliff Robinson on Andrew Toney, because if he gets outside the 3-second line, that's a mismatch.
Well, he's not supposed to. It was a switch off. Charles Bradley is supposed to be on him, and they had a screen set, and Robinson had to switch off. You see Bradley now on Toney.
Now, if he lets Toney go right, he's going to have a problem here.
Good defense. Air ball by the Doctor. Here come the Bullets. They trail by 5. 6:40 to go in the game.
Just took a little step there.
Ruland muscles up, offensive foul. No basket. A big break for the Sixers and a tough break for the Bullets.
Let's take a look at it now.
Well, I'll tell you, with all the contact those two big guys have underneath, that's a tough call to have go against you. The Sixers again will try to get back to that 7-point lead they had at the half. Look at Barkley and Robinson battling. 3 seconds on Barkley. He had a foot inside the paint area.
They were so busy pushing, they forgot about the 3 seconds.
I got to laugh, though, Bill. One of the fans, the Philly fans behind me, says, oh, there's a makeup. Meaning that maybe the official thought that the other call might not have gone that way. Turnovers, see Philly with 19, Washington with 16. They've settled down a little bit since that first quarter when they both had 7. Ruland scoring. And Moses, you see, Moses Malone, he wasn't on the screen because we had a picture of Ruland. Moses yelled to his teammates, somebody's got to be in the middle here. The Philly defense is supposed to be in there jamming it, and they weren't there, and Moses was unhappy.
Yes, because when a guy puts on the floor, no matter what the situation is, let's say it doesn't take anything there, he goes there. And actually, Barkley was a little there, late, but he wasn't there soon enough.
And there you say the rookie, the inexperienced, had his head turned a little bit, didn't come in to jam it because he was the closest man, and the Sixers paid. A 3-point play for Jeff Ruland, and the Sixers only lead now by 2. Ruland has 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. A great effort for Jeff Ruland after having missed over 40 games at the end of the season. There's the double team. They leave Cheeks open from 19. Doctor keeps it alive, but Jones is there. And that's Gus Williams. 5:40 to go in the game. The Bullets trying to tie it at 90. Ruland blocked by Malone, but Robinson's there. Foul underneath will be on Toney, I believe.
And it's a little contact on the boards now. They're heavy traffic in there.
But again, Washington, Bill, getting inside. They are getting the ball inside the gut of the Philly defense, and they have gotten themselves back into this ball game. Cliff Robinson has 21 points and 7 rebounds so far in this contest, and a chance to tie it at 90 with 5:36 to go. Billy Cunningham has decided to take a full timeout. We'll be back with the final 5 minutes and 36 seconds of this, the first 1985 NBA playoff action. Rick Barry back with Bill Russell for the final 5:36 of this ball game. And Bill, I tell you, it's really interesting to me what coaches do as you'll take a look at the scoring leaders. You notice that you haven't seen players who have played a lot during the regular season. You haven't seen Sedale Threet for Philadelphia come in and play a lot of time. You haven't seen some of the other players on the Washington team who have played reserve roles. The coaches tend to go with maybe 7, 8, 9 guys at the most when you come down to playoff time.
Well, unless there are injuries or someone gets into foul trouble in the playoff, there's not much room for more than 8 players. Because the players need the minutes to be effective. And you have less things that can go wrong when you're playing 8 players. And then that's still not quite enough time for 8 players. Now, during the regular season, because of travel and the uneven schedule, you have to play 8 or 10 players a lot.
You see, Malone had 5 rebounds only. They've done a good job of keeping him away from the glass. They still have a controversy over at that scorer's table. They feel that in the second period that the Bullets feel that they were charged with an extra timeout. And there's Harvey Pollack's son talking with Gene Shue and Bertie Bickerstaff about it. But it's a losing battle.
For both.
Yes, 21 points for Robinson. He's trying to tie it up.
Because Gene Shue doesn't get the timeout back. And no matter what Pollack says, they're not going to be satisfied.
22 for Robinson. We're tied at 90. 5:35 now to go in the ball game. The shot clock is at 4. Knocked away. It'll be a 24-second violation. No, the Bullets get control. It would have been a 24-second violation had the Sixers got it. Good defensive effort by the Bullets. A chance to go in the lead. Cliff Robinson delivers again. 24 for Cliff, and the Bullets lead by 2 with 5 minutes to go in the game.
Now, this game can become very important, especially if the Bullets win it.
Remember, the Sixers lost in the second round to New Jersey last year. A big upset there, and they do not want to have that happen again this season. This time the Bullets trying to be the spoilers. Now we have a 20-second timeout being taken by Billy Cunningham. There was 7 seconds only on the shot clock, and they were in big trouble offensively there. And so that was a smart move by Billy to have them call that, because now they can set up a play to get what would be probably a much better shot than they would have gotten, Bill, in that situation that was existing at the time of the timeout. Remember, tomorrow, doubleheader action here on the Superstation. Bill and I will be bringing you the first round of action, first game, Cleveland at Boston, 8:05 Eastern time. That will be immediately followed with Skip Carey and John Andrews bringing you all of the action from the Forum out in Inglewood, California, where the Lakers will host the Phoenix Suns in the first game of that best-of-5 playoff series. That's tomorrow here on the Superstation, 8:05 for the first game of our doubleheader NBA playoff action. Bobby Jones in the ball game with Julius Erving and Moses Malone and Cheeks and Tony for the Sixers. Tipped in by Erving off the Moses miss. Great play by Julius. 22 points for Julius Erving. An outstanding effort. Big basket. Ties it at 92. 4:30 to go in the game. Little give and go. Gus draws the foul.
Ruland is having a real good game offensively. It's tough to see. Now here's a good pass, and there's the foul right there.
And that was just the outstanding speed and quickness of Gus Williams that allowed him to get by Maurice Cheeks. 11 points, 8 assists for Gus in tonight's game. Well, Gus fails on the first try to get the lead back in the Bullets' hands. The Bullets lead by 1. 4:21 to go in the game. Bradley is on Cheeks. Now Gus comes to double. That leaves Tony wide open. Over the top of the backboard. That will be a violation. It'll be on the side for the Washington Bullets. They found the open man, Tony, but he couldn't deliver. I think he should have moved in a little closer, Bill.
Yeah, right. Well, now, but he's a good outside shooter, so that...
but that's a long way just to step inside that three-point area.
Now, the Bullets have to try to get inside again, and what they're using is a 2-on-2, try to use at least, a 2-on-2 with Ruland and Gus, give and go, and let the other guys...
Illegal defensive warning against the 76ers. 6 seconds on the shot clock for
Now, what
the
they did was they stretched it out, and when the Sixers collapsed, they didn't go for the hoop. And they stood there and exposed that illegal defense.
And they gave him a new 24 seconds on that violation, so that was a break for the Bullets. Ruland too hard, too hard. Jones was there, but it was too hard and a little bit behind him, and he knows it. Jeff knew it.
He said my fault.
Bullets lead by 1. 3:30 to go in the game. Sheets from 18, and he has 17 points. Now the Sixers by 1.
Now, you think they'll try that same play again to see if young Mr. Jones will be free?
Moses, great defense. We tell you that defense will win for you in the playoffs, and the Sixers showing you why they are one of the best teams in the league. One-on-one is the Doctor against Robinson. He crawls it in. 24 for Julius. 3-point lead for the 76ers. We're inside of 3 minutes to go in the game.
And I saw something unusual, and Julius called for that ball on that play.
Gus, great defense by Cheeks. They call a double dribble on Gus Williams. And defense has done it for the Sixers again. There you see it again, and Gus right there touched it again before anybody else did after he come down, so he got a double dribble. The Doctor to Moses. Foul inside, going to be on Jones. That will be his 5th.
And this little spurt that the Sixers had, it couldn't come at a better time. But when you keep the defensive pressure on, you can get a couple breakdowns, and that's all it takes.
It's been very difficult, I'm sure, for the Washington Bullets, especially Gene Shue looking on here. His team has done a good job fighting back from leads ranging on up to 9 points to take the lead, and then each time they get the lead, the Sixers usually have come through with outstanding defensive effort. That's been the story of the ball game. Malone converts. The Sixers now lead by 4, 97-93. 2:34 to go. And they said there was going to be a timeout, but
they call it 22nd time.
20-second timeout.
Now, what Gene Shue has to do is...
Well, I thought they had used their 20-second timeout. No, it is a full timeout being called.
Now they got to go to a full timeout.
And we have 2:34 to go. The Sixers lead the Bullets 97-93.
When
playoffs, and it's been an interesting contest, and you can see the scoring thus far by the quarters as you get a good look at Jeff Ruland, who has played, I think, Bill, an outstanding game considering the circumstances of his return to the lineup, missing 40-some-odd games at the end of the season. Now, no timeouts left for Washington. That could be critical. How would you feel about that being a coach?
Well, it's something you can get around. First of all, you can hope that they call timeouts and use it. But what you do, you set up a scenario for your team while you're this timeout, so that you say, now, if this happens, you do this, this, and this. When this happens, you do this, this, and this. And then as the guards go by, you can talk to the other guard while the other guards bring up if they're not putting pressure on you. And you can give instructions that way. Although it would be nice to have a timeout, it's not that essential.
Darren Day is in for the Bullets. Shot clock is down inside of 10 seconds for the Bullets. Malone comes up with a steal. Knocks it away to Tony. 3-on-2. Cheeks to Tony.
Good defense again by the Sixers, and they've really put the pressure on going down the stretch.
And 3 times they have done it. Once by Cheeks against Williams, and 2 times Moses Malone came through with a great defensive effort. 6-point lead, 2 minutes to go. Washington has turned it over the last 4 times they've had it, Bill.
And trying to get the ball into Malone.
And they do it again. Weak side help from the Doctor.
And trying to get the ball into Ruland. They'll have to swing the ball around sometime and then get on the other side. They only try to get it on one side, and everybody in the building knows where the ball's going to go.
Julius comes up short. Bradley with the rebound. 5 times in a row the Bullets have turned it over with great defensive plays on the part of the 76ers. It was not bad plays necessarily on the part of the Bullets. Ruland tries to force his way in and is fortunate to draw a foul.
Because he almost ran over Julius.
Maurice Cheeks picks up the foul. Ruland a chance to cut that 6-point lead down to 4. Still plenty of time left for the Bullets. Cliff Robinson coming in now.
Enough time to to build a foundation on a rather large establishment.
Do a lot in the minute and 24 of this game, especially with the clock stopping every time the whistle is blown in the last 2 minutes of the ball game. Ruland with 17 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. They get 18 points, and it's a 4-point 76er lead. Final 124 of the game. Important defensive effort coming up here for the Washington Bullets, if they hope to pull this one out. Inside of 10 seconds on the shot clock. Foul. Dudley Bradley coming from the weak side to help out on Tony.
What they're doing, they're setting picks for Tony along the baseline. The Bullets are switching, and they have Cliff Robinson on Andrew Tony. That is a mismatch.
Well, they should make that switch. Here you see Bradley coming back to try and help as Tony got by
and the
Robinson.
reason the mismatch is that Tony's such a good outside shooter, and he's out there in his territory. Now, if they were inside, it would not be a mismatch, but outside, he can go around him, or he can take that outside shot, and if he doesn't get close enough, Tony can make the shot.
It's only a 5-point lead now for the 76ers. We have 1 minute to go in the ball game. The Bullets can't take too much time. Three-pointer, Gus.
He's fouled.
No, offensive foul is called on Jeff Ruland on the screen. What a tough break for the Bullets. Jeff Ruland called for an offensive foul.
Let's see if we can take a look at it. There comes Gus.
Oh, no. I don't really think so. He was there. He didn't really push off. As soon as the contact was made, it kind of looked that way. That was a tough call. 6 turnovers in the last 6 possessions, other than that one foul that they have with Ruland. 6 of the last 7. Tony foul again by Robinson.
And they keep making that switch. What they should do, if they talked weak side, they would see that pick coming, and they do not have to switch. You can let a guy through. It's almost like a sword fighting position. You back off, let the guy through, and then go back to your man.
Sword fighter? Have you been a sword fighter?
Well, that's
your parrying?
Yes.
Thrust and parry?
Right.
Greg Ballard coming back in now for the Washington Bullets. They put forth an excellent effort here. Again, falling behind early in the game, fought back to take the lead in the second period. They fell behind by 7 at the half. Then they came on to take the lead in the third period, only to wind up trailing. And they were close all the way in the fourth quarter. But now it's a 7-point lead again for the Sixers. Who do you like for player of the game, Bill? Three-pointer blocked by Julius. Ballard gets it back. Ruland. 20 seconds to go. 5-point lead.
I like Moses. Although I think the Cheeks set the pace for the game.
In the very
first quarter, but I like Moses. He's come on strong after he stayed out most of the first quarter with the 2 fouls.
Okay, I think that Cheeks played well. Moses as well as Barkley. And of course, the doctor wasn't exactly shabby in his performance, but
he's been too smooth tonight.
Yeah,
he's been so effective in such a quiet way.
Yes, that's true. He has been quiet. Barkley was explosive in some of the things that he did. But again, Moses Malone was able to do his thing inside, and he made such big plays as Julius throws it away. So wait a second here. A 3-pointer can make things very interesting. They cut it to a 2-point lead. There's still 15 seconds to go. So watch out.
They got to take the ball out of bounds from where it was thrown.
On the other side.
On the other side there.
So the Bullets would still one last gasp, but that takes care of it. Maurice Cheeks with great anticipation, and defense has done it again. And the Bullets have beaten themselves by not executing, and the Sixers have contributed to that with their outstanding effort defensively going down the stretch. And the good, experienced ball clubs will do just that in playoff competition.
Especially if you have a Maurice Cheeks.
So I will agree with you.
I think Moses made 2 or 3 good defensive plays when they're trying to get the ball into Ruland. And I thought that early in the game that Maurice Cheeks set the pace.
Malone has 25, 26. And we will go with Moses Malone as our player of the game for doing it all over as Gus fires up a 3-pointer. No way. Last second of the game ticks off. The Sixers have to be happy. They had a little bit of a scare coming in late in the fourth period with the Washington Bullets actually leading, but their defense prevailed. They have won 104-97. We will be back shortly.